I don't know if this has started, but we're just gonna experiment here. So, I have been wanting hello, sun. Sun is so bright in my home office, living room, playroom. It's just the everything room. And I have been, like, really just, like, wanting a place to put, like, my random thoughts besides just private notebooks. Hey, Whimsy. Um, so I've been really wanting to find a place. I've been wanting to, like, have a community and, like, talk just super freely and openly. Dahlia's here. Oh my god, let me just talk to Dahlia. But, yeah, so I have just been wanting to, like, figure out a place to, like, put all my random thoughts, and, like, I need to share them more. And this morning, I was going down a ChatGPT rabbit hole of, like, exploring my 5th house. Hi, cutie. Oh my gosh, this is fun. Like, this is better than TikTok because, like, I see people do TikTok lives, and that just overwhelms my nervous system immediately. And, yeah, so on that same note, like, I've seen Aaron, my boyfriend, on this, like, Discord chat with, like, all these other traders, and I was like, "I just wanna, like, hang out and chat with people, like, while I work." Like, it almost creates that, like, community co-working vibe, so I want a place to put my thoughts. I want a place to, like, connect with people that, like, resonate and, like, can just kind of have a conversation because I love to talk, and some days I don't necessarily feel like being out in the world or, like, we all have plans, we're adults now, apparently, and so, yeah, it's just, like, hard to, like, be able to talk with someone when I feel like it. And what I've done with, like, one of my close friends, and friends, like, years ago was I had a Marco Polo, and if you don't know what Marco Polo is, it's basically just, like, a video walkie-talkie that you just, like, go back and forth with messages, and I just love it because it requires me to be really present when listening to someone or, like, podcasting. I love podcasting, but I don't really care to, like, learn about stuff all the time. I literally just, like, wanna hear people talk, and I wanna hear myself talk. So, just talking to all my, Gemini placements, really, but yeah, so I'm just trying this, I'm just experimenting. I have been in this, like, zone of, like, wanting to find more hobbies, but also just mostly needing to create more. And speaking is one of those things, writing's one of those things that I just do kind of by myself all the time, and I've been just trying to, like, sit with, like, a podcast or, like, a community, or I've started my Substack, but it's just always been, like, I don't know, I just feel like I want to share more, but I don't quite know how. So, this morning, talking to Chat, I, like, love and hate how much I talk with ChatGPT because I think when used correctly or, like, appropriately, like, AI can be, like, a really good tool. Um, but I also don't wanna, like, just take my advice from, like, literally something that's not real. So, I usually sit with something and I'm like, "I want to, like, learn about this more," and then I ask Chat about it. So, this morning, Chat and I were talking about, Chat is, like, the best tool for a Gemini. Like, I'm a Gemini rising, at a Gemini degree. I have, like, Mars in my 3rd house, which is also Gemini. So, I really like to talk and write and express, and the thought that was on my mind this morning was I have a huge stellium in my 5th house or 6th house, depending on if I use whole sign or, like, my progress chart, and it's, like, just along these 2 houses, and I've just, like, really wanted to tap into that more because when Nicole did a reading for me, it was like she uses Placidus, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you have, like, the most stacked 5th house I've ever seen." I'm like, "That's funny because I use whole sign, and I've never seen a more stacked 6th house when I'm reading for myself." So, today I was like, I really wanna understand the 5th house more because I understand the 6th house a lot because of just having studied that a lot using whole sign for myself, but now I'm like, "Okay, I feel like that service-oriented, like, duty, responsibility, like, daily ritual stuff kind of weighs me down, and if I get, like, too perfectionist or, like, my perfectionist tendencies make me just, like, hone in on all the details of my life, and that makes me, like, need to zoom out. So, 5th house basically was very resonant this morning. I have, like, a Scorpio stellium, so it's very deep, and essentially 5th house, it's ruled by Leo, so Leo is like that in its, like, highest octave is what I say. Leo in its highest octave is, like, very from the heart, like, childlike, from the heart expression, like, super romantic, like, if, like, Nicole's a Leo moon, for example, she's just, like, so big-hearted, like, I just think of Leo as, like, the biggest heart ever. I'm also wearing my, like, little cute necklace, my little Leo necklace right now, so speaking from the heart, but, yeah, so it's all about, like, childlike play and, like, creative, like, creation any way possible. And so it, like yeah, it could be the creation of children, but it could be the creation of, like, your, like, own creative ventures, and, yeah, that's just something I need to get into way more, and I feel like the Scorpio energy mixed with Leo is, like, very fun and playful, but also kind of, like, dark and sinister, like, dark humor, like, very much dark humor vibe, but what surprised me about, like, reading through what chat deep dived on for the 5th house was, like okay, childhood wounding, okay, so I'm gonna heal a lot through my inner child, and, like, this resonated for me because Aaron and I were talking, and he was just like, "Don't you, like, miss being a kid?" And I'm like, "Honestly, no." Like, and it was a realization for me, like, obviously, I had, like, a great childhood and all that, like, I'm very blessed, privileged, whatever, but, like, emotionally, I did not have a good childhood, like, I had friends move away or just, like, kinda people abandon me or, like, emotionally abandon me that made me feel like I had to fit in, and anyways. I also have, my North Node in Scorpio or the 5th house as well, and I was, like, telling chat all my placements in there, and it said, like, with the North Node being in the 5th house, that, like, points to, like, being more creatively expressive and unique, um, as opposed to the South Node that would be in my 11th house of, like, blending in, trying to, like, fit in with groups, and I feel like everything in my life that I've been rejected from has helped point me back towards creating art and just expressing myself and, like, having fun. Oh, I love you too, Talia. Thank you so much for jumping on. This made me feel like I'm not weird, so I love you. I love you, I love you. Um But yeah, so, like, the 11th house, it was just all about, like, fitting in, and now it's, like, this move towards, like, just express and, like, don't I love you. Don't, like don't care about what people are thinking about your performance, like, my life is a performance in terms of 5th house Leo energy, like, I'm meant to perform my artistry through living my life through daily rituals, 6th house, so that was really fascinating, but, like, as soon as I start to worry about, like, how people are perceiving me, like, that's when my magic just, like, drops, so yeah, I'm working on, like, not only nervous system regulation, and that's very tied into if I'm using the whole house system and my Scorpio stellium's in the 6th house, like, that's all about hormonal balance and digestive balance and nervous system balance, because when there's too much input, that is when I become overwhelmed, and it's also, like, blending the 6th and 5th houses, like, I need a structure in my daily life in order to like, best create and, like, create art throughout my life. So, yeah, it was really interesting too because I talk so much with ChatGPT about, like, career stuff and, like, purpose, like, "What's my purpose here?" No, really though, like, really though. And, like, anyone who admits to, like, this, I just yeah, it's fine. Everyone does it. And if you're not doing it, why not? Like, why not? But yeah, so I was just, like, examining this more, and it just made me realize how my and this is, like, what landed in me when Nicole read my chart was, like, my creative expressions will serve the world, if that makes sense. So, it's, like, kind of like the backwards way of creating, and an example of this so I've been rewatching Daisy Jones and the Six, it's just my, like oh, I just love the character of Daisy Jones, she's just, like, this free-spirited, um, it I don't know if you've, like, seen this, but you should just watch it. I don't need to explain the show. But anyways, just, like, her feeling when writing songs, sitting down with Billy. Billy is, like, sitting at his guitar just, like, so focused, just, like, waiting for the song to come to him, and he's, like, so serious, he just keeps doing the same thing over and over and over, and when I was watching that, I was like, "Oh my god, that's, like, me stuck in my 6th house tendencies where I'm just, like, stuck in my routine, and it's, like, rigid, and it's not flowing." And then he's, like, playing his guitar, they go outside, and she just jumps in the pool. Daisy just jumps in the pool, and he's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Writing. I'm writing a song." And I was just like, oh, she's such my muse right now, like, I've been listening to 70s music too, just, like, keep in that, like, energy of her archetype. But I just love that reminder of, like, you don't necessarily, like, have to do what you think you need to get where you need to go. Like, sometimes you have to go through the back door or, like, just go outside, and that just really resonated with me, and so, because I watched that recently, I've just been thinking, like, instead of, like, trying to do the masculine thing of, like, just doing the same thing over and over and, like, expecting an outcome. For example, like, that's literally what Aaron does every day. I'm like, "Baby, what are you doing today?" And he's like, "Working." And I was like, "Okay." Have fun with that. Um, have lots of fun with that. But, like, I just can't do the same thing every day. Like, I crave novelty, and, like, you can call it ADHD, but, like, honestly, I just feel like my creative brain and, like, it just requires that. And so it's been really hard for me to, like, blend, like it's been really hard for me to create structure for myself because structure feels quite limiting, but without structure, I don't have any, like, boundaries. And so another example of how to, like, look at this symbolically, so I, like, see a lot in pictures when I'm trying to talk, and then I use words. Like, that's how we all do it, I guess, but I just feel like when I've talked to other people, like, some people just think nothing or, like, see nothing before they're speaking, but I, like, see a picture before I need to say it. So, the other symbolic imagery I use for this is, like, if you have a river delta coming all the way out and, like, there's no structure, it's very, spread out, it's spread thin, like, it spans out like this. Like, a river with canyon walls is, like, very, 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 very powerful. Grand Canyon, hello. Water is super powerful, but if you do not channel water, it just spreads out like a river delta, and it doesn't really have that same impact. And, like, it will still carry a lot of, like, sediment out to sea, but it's, like and that's still enriching a lot of life. But if you want to have powerful water force, I feel like you really have to channel it and, like, have the containers, have the structure, have the limits, because a river without canyon walls is just a pond or a lake. And, like, that's fine for some people, but I just need to move around a lot. Have a lot of air in my chart as well, so and fire, so it's gotta go somewhere. Um, but yeah, I was just like, I need to just focus on being, like, really authentic in my creations, which I have been this year, like, through my Substack, it's been like, I was like, "Oh, like, I could really help people with the information I know," which is true, but when I get so tied up in, like, the impact I'm trying to make, the impact doesn't happen. So, I think it's, like, returning back to that, like, inner creative force and letting that guide me, and then, like, that service to the world will just happen naturally. That's been just, like, a huge theme of this year. Um, so that's been something to note, but it was also going back to how the 5th house kind of comes up in my day-to-day life. I have Pluto in Scorpio, like, this whole generation of, like, me age-ish has Pluto in Scorpio, and a big thing with, like, Pluto in the 5th house can mean that, like, your creations will transform you, and creations can also mean children, so your children can transform and heal you. Pluto's, like, the death rebirth cycle, it's very feminine actually by nature, if you, like, think of it like that, because women, like, die and are reborn every month. But yeah, so anyways, I was just thinking like, it was just reading out, like, your children will, like, almost, like, activate you, and my mom said this thing I was gonna say once, she said it a lot where she's like, "You're gonna have a girl just like you," because I was very loud when I was a baby, and maybe that's because, like, I couldn't speak yet and, like, I just wanted to, like, be heard. I could, like, get into the wormhole of that, but, it was just saying how, like, when you have a kid, like, you'll probably have karmic contracts with, like, a child or children, and I feel that so strongly with Ivy. I feel that, I had her when I was, like, just shy of 25, so like, pretty young mom, but not, like, teen mom, and planned and all that, but because people always ask me, but I just feel that she came into my life in order to, like, get me through transformation that I would not have bode well otherwise without her, and I also feel that the things she says sometimes sound like they're coming from me, and, like, there's astrology and past life stuff and, like, parent-child relationship stuff, like soul contract stuff that happens, but I feel like she is a mirror for me, and, like, my intention for her has always been, like, I want her to be, like, childlike and, like, not lose that childlike sense of wonder, and then I go, "Well, why are you then not sitting down playing with her and instead vacuuming like a fucking mad woman?" So, yeah, that's kinda just how, like, the 6th and 5th house play out for me. It's this, like, really fun balance because, like, it is in service, it is in this, like, daily act of devotion in my daily routines to myself, and in turn, like, that those devotional acts and, like, those health problems that I've faced, like reproductive stuff, digestive stuff, like, this is all very Scorpio-coded nervous system stuff, very Scorpio-coded health things. If you look into body astrology, that's literally Scorpio. But then it informs my heart, like, 5th house is related to heart, like Leo, expression, play, all that, and I think both inform one another, and it's just kind of fun to dance between the 2 and realize when I need, like, more structure and realize how I can create, for example, like this video, like, this is my, like, creative output this morning, and I I have so many I'm, like, just laughing at myself. I have so many videos that I've just filmed of myself because, I don't know, it's just felt like I've always wanted a podcast. I've always wanted to, like, speak and talk and, like, all these things, and I'm just, like, not sure how it's gonna, like, materialize, if that makes sense. Like, do I make a podcast? That doesn't sound fun right now, like, I don't want to do that, and so I'm not, and I'm just following my strong intuition and being like, "Okay, I'm just gonna, like, do whatever it feels like I want to do right now," and, like, that is preparing me for whatever will be, and so, yeah, this was, like, the equivalent of me talking to myself in the morning, but also with the added layer of all like, expressing it to people and not being afraid, and, yeah, just very grateful that Talia was on here to cheerlead me a little bit, and yeah. So, this has been my, like, little creative experiment. I don't know where this goes after I end this call. I don't know if it's just a live I don't know if it's into the ethers, so we'll just kind of see, but, this was a good exercise in me just speaking openly, and it makes me, like, want to get on TikTok, but I also just don't care to talk to that many people. Like, that's just overwhelming, and I feel like that would make me, like, want to, like, detract from what I'm saying, so, like, I love engagement, but I also want it to be like, this is, like and it's not even a channeling, this is, like, super chill. Hey, this could be a channeling if I want it to be. Um, but just a stream of consciousness with, like, a little bit of, like, not feedback enough for me to be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm getting praise for, like, performing." Like, not that, but if someone has a question on what I'm saying, it's almost like a Zoom call. Just go live Zoom call, just, like, drop in a question if you have something, but I just wanna talk about what I wanna talk about, and if I see your question and it lights me up, I will answer it, that kinda thing. So, yeah, I'm gonna end the call now. I don't know what's gonna happen, but this was fun. I didn't even know this feature existed on Substack. I was even asking chat, like, I was like, "This is what I wanna do. Like, is there a platform that exists for this? Like, what do you think would be a good fit for me?" Was gonna do a Discord, but I have joined multiple Discord apps, and they just instantly overwhelm me, and I just, like, no, that's probably not my space, and, like, it was like, "Oh, Instagram," and I was like, "I just feel like Instagram maybe I have to just, like, make I don't know. Like, Instagram, I just feel like is inherently performative, and I can't drink the juice. Like, I spit out the juice every time I try to drink it. I even tried to get on yesterday to Instagram, and I was like, obviously, I love seeing people that I love and, like, I actually know and, like, "Oh my gosh, I, like, love seeing that," but just so much of it is just stupid noise. Stupid noise. And not calling other people's expression stupid noise, but to me, I don't need that much noise to, like, respond from, if that makes sense. Like, I was gonna end this. This is how my Marco Polos also always go, like, I am always like, "Sue's," like, one of my best friends that I Marco Polo all the time. I'm like, "Oh, Sue's," like, "I'm gonna say bye," and then I just keep talking because talking sometimes this is what I'll leave you with. I don't know where this goes. But, yeah. Yeah, Aaron was just saying, he's like, "There's a term called mental masturbation," and I also think because the throat and the voice is connected to womb space, just like literally how, like, bodies evolve and grow, just, like, literally biology, like embryo stuff. I just feel like sometimes talking feels orgasmic because I'm expressing and, like, I'm creating that hum throughout my body. So, maybe I'm just vocally masturbating, who knows? Also very Scorpio-esque, so I'm now going to end this video, and I'm proud of myself for just trying something and getting out of my comfort zone and just being like, "I don't know what's gonna happen, let's just see what happens." So, that is it.